Right, good morning, lovely people. I thought I'd show you the results of my dyeing day with Kathryn, K3N. A lot of you probably follow her on the YouTube. Yeah, it was a bit of a... It wasn't the distance to get there, it was the roads. It was foggy, the M5 was chaos, and it was a lot of winding. Anyway, it was a bit of a journey. Hour and a half it took me, but there we are. It was worth it. This is the results. I'm going to put blue gloves on because I'm just still, the iron oxide stuff that we used really stains your hands. I've managed to get my fingers almost clean. My nails are still showing the brunt of it, so I'm going to pop my gloves on. Well, actually, here's some dry bits. Let me just move this out of the way for a second. So I'll do the dry bits first. Oh dear, what a day. Right. Okay. So it was lovely. I mean, we had so much information. My head is still spinning. I made notes, but you know, to preserve Kathryn's teaching, I'm not going to discuss too much of the processes, but her friend grows a lot of plants in her garden for dyeing, and this was one called Woad, W-O-D-E, great big green leaves, and this started off as white silk noil. I did buy a bit, hold on. Yeah, so it started out this colour, cream basically, as a silk noil it's called. So I bought a metre off her as well. But yeah, all you do is put salt and the leaves in your hands and just give it a darn good scrunching, and you get this amazing green. I think I've laid it against the iron oxide stuff that we use, so yeah, it's picked up some black, but that's fine. So yeah, you've sort of got this very natural slubby green colour. Now, none of this has been washed. Kathryn did say to leave everything for at least a week, all your fabrics. The paper, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll come to that in a sec. So yeah, so I did this bit just by literally rubbing the leaves in my hands and doing that. How good it stays, I don't know. As I say, it's all got to have a wash in a week. And then Kathryn was doing a big pot of oak, oh, I can't remember what they're called, oak galls. It's these weird little nodule things that the oak produces as a reaction to a wasp going into the acorns. I think that's what it was. I'm going to try acorn dyeing actually, because apparently that works really well. Anyway, so she did these test pieces for us. This I think is linen, because she'd pre-mordanted these pieces of linen. Again, I think I've touched the iron pieces that we did. So yeah, that's a piece of mordanted linen with the oak, and look at the difference. This is silk. I think she said it was pongee silk. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's not been ironed. As I say, I want to give it all a dedicated wash in a week's time, and then we'll see exactly what we end up with. I will show you that. Again, I think I've touched the iron bits. Hello. Right. Okay, the papers are more or less dry. So the other thing we could do was cardi paper. I've got my pad here. Yeah, she said to bring some, it's this stuff, caddy, I don't know how you pronounce it anyway. Yeah, we were allowed to take some bits of that. Let me just straighten you up, sorry, you've gone wonky. Yeah, so this is caddy paper, and you wet it, roll it. As I say, I'm not going to give too much away because it was Kathryn's stuff. Wet it, roll it, and then you put it in a pot and boil it, basically. But mine stayed together. I was quite impressed, and I got some amazing leaves. She did discuss that, you know, a lot of leaves aren't that good, and then she gave us a list of leaves that are. This was onion skin, these bits here. I sort of just broke it up and crumbled it on. This is the marks left from tying the rope round, which is amazing. Again, this needs washing in bicarbonate of soda, so, but again, I think I've got to leave it a couple of days. But yeah, you can see all the spotty leaves. Amazing. Oh, it smells. It smelled like boiled cabbage a lot of the time, but that was fine because we were doing stuff. But yeah, so you can see the big leaves here, and obviously a little edge where the rope was. So that was the cardie paper. Now this is the one where it gets a bit messy. Let me just drag this. I'm going to move these. You had to be very careful what you were touching. We did the clean lot first and then this iron stuff afterwards. So this is, I'm going to put my gloves on. These are very glamorous. This, I'm going to show this first. This was a piece of, let me grab that. Sorry, it's organised as usual, not. So this bit here started out this colour. It's boiled wool, so it started out a lovely, what do you call that, sort of like mustardy colour, I suppose. And this, after wrapping and boiling, this is what it turned out like. The bit I love is where the strings were. But if you can see the giant leaf there, we didn't know how this would work, so I said to Kathryn, I'll do a video and show how it worked. But yeah, it kind of came out all right. It came out a bit, I don't know how to describe it really. You can see all the little leaves underneath there and the big ones there. They sort of kept the colour. It's just one of those processes where you're not quite sure exactly what's going to happen, and when it does, you're like, oh. But this I love because I tied it so tightly. It's actually it's got texture. I think I'm going to lose it when I wash it though, but it's got to be washed. But yeah, she did say to leave it a week, but I think that texture is going to disappear on me. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I've got some really lovely leaves, and I don't know whether you can pick up the depth, but again, I think it's going to get lost because they were quite chunky leaves with thick stems and that, and it really pressed into the wool. So we'll have to see. I'm going to have to see how it is at the end, basically. And then we dyed a load of silk. I picked up a 100% silk shirt off eBay, actually. So, because I didn't want to use Habitat, which is the thinner silk. Anyway, I used this. So, these were all done. Well, I'm going to explain it. Hang on. Right, so I'll do this one first because this was what was called a clean one. But it wasn't very, it was very green. It wasn't my kind of thing. So what I did was I dipped it in the solution that she had there, and it's turned it to the dark side, quite frankly. This looks like a spine. Are you getting this? I think you are. But you can definitely still see the leaves. This is very wet and very black, so I'm not touching it with my hands. You see the leaves there? It's cool, isn't it? Again, it's got to be washed and pressed and all the rest of it. And Kathryn did say it comes out much better once it has had that. But you can still see the leaves there. The smoke bush, that was. Apparently smoke bush is very good, so, and I agree. So that's that one. I'll just chuck that back down there. Now these we dyed dirty. This is the iron pile, if you like. Again, this was the sleeve of a blouse. I think you can definitely see the leaves on that one, yeah. It's going to be fascinating to see how it washes out. So, all of these are very usable pieces. I even kept on things like that, you know, because that'll be handy as a strap for something. So, well, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it, is just to lay it out. But yeah, you can definitely see the leaves. That was tree peony. I've never even heard of tree peony. There was stuff there yesterday. I was like, oh, I've never even heard of that. I don't know what that is. This was the other sleeve. So again, I left on the, it had like tie straps on it, that tie up straps. So I just left that on as well, dyed that too. Cool, huh? Let's move that out of the way. And then to do the darker thing, the darker dyeing, you use, I can't remember what she called it, kind of a carrier sheet, I suppose, for which we used our cotton. And everybody, me included, we loved our cotton pieces more than our silk. But yeah, look at those. Again, tons of texture, but I know it's just going to disappear as soon as I wash it. So yeah, so that's just cotton. I used the back of an old duvet that I took. So again, I don't know what's going to be left when we well, that's the cuff. I've lost one of these. I don't know where it went. It was bundled up with all the others, but I just thought that would make a really interesting, look at the detail of that leaf. Beautiful, isn't it? Very clever. And this was another piece because we did 2 bits of dirty dyeing, as it was called. And this one I did enormous. So again, you can see all the leaves and the texture. Again, it's very wet and it's very black and it's very dirty. So bits of green, which was interesting. So yeah, it was a very fun day. Loads and loads of information. I've made loads of notes, and I need to I mean, front and back are, you know, equally lovely because of the way you dye it. So yeah, there we are. That was all the fabrics. And then because you keep the string, and the her friend gifted us, or gave us, a length of, I did buy one, hold on. Come in, hang on, just got to find it all. I came in and dumped. I was tired. Oh, I don't know where the other one's gone. Okay, I got a smooth. So anyway, she has some of these silk threads. So this is the bobbly one, and then this was the smooth one. I've got a whole skein of it. I don't know what I've done with it. It'll turn up. Yeah. So we tied. So we tied initially with string, and then we could tie over the top with the silk, so that we ended up with threads to match our fabrics, if that makes sense. So yeah, so this was the string, this was the cleaner dye bath, and this was the same. I think it might have been the dirty one as well. The weird thing was we were asked to take really distinctive buttons, so I took these plastic ones. Now this was bright lime green when I tied off, and it's turned pale blue. Yeah, so I just wound those on. I took this stick, so I just wound those on there. And then this is, you can probably tell, the dirty dyeing. So that's the string, and that's the silk. Again, it's all got to be washed. And then that thick wool piece, because it was literally the last bit to be done, I took it home wet and unravelled it all last night. I was going to do it on camera, but I thought I needed to do it, and I was just so tired last night, I just couldn't. So I actually I took a ball of perle thread with me, and a massive one, and I sneaked it onto, well, it doesn't matter, you just wrap your pieces with it basically. So I wrapped, this is a bit of a bird's nest, I need to sort it out. So I've actually got a perle thread. I don't think this is too wet, let me. So I've got a nice perle thread in sort of, it's like a browny black. I mean, it's not black, but it's, I don't know, smoky, browny grey. I don't know really. And then I got the string off of it as well. So I need to sort this out. But I just undid it all last night, took the leaves out. And I didn't want the leaves drying onto the fabric because it would have been a nightmare to have got it off while it was still wet. And it was still quite warm actually, because literally I begged off quite early because I was the furthest distance away. So it got to about 3:45 and I said, I'm going to go because I'm going to hit rush hour in Exeter. So yeah, I dibbed out a bit early, so she just literally gave me my bundle, which was the thick wool one, and I wrapped it in a towel and headed off. So everybody else was more local. And the frustrating thing is she's doing a monthly kind of get-together stitchy type thing, and it's just too far. It really is. It's, I say, it's not necessarily the distance, it's just the road that I've got to take to get there, which is long, windy, and it was foggy yesterday, you know. And in the winter, having done that journey for a very long time, because it's kind of like the back road that I always used to travel up to London to see my parents when the kids were little. I know in the winter it is really dicey because it goes very rural for quite a few miles. Well, yeah, lots of miles actually. Yeah, and there's no dual carriageways or anything like that. So yeah, it's not the nicest of roads. I got stuck behind tractors and combine harvesters. You can imagine. So, and it's only, I think she's doing it 10 till 1. And I thought for 3 hours, it's just not worth the journey. And it was probably about, I don't know, 12 quid worth of petrol, I think. Anyway, this is a right mess, isn't it? Yeah, so all in all, very enjoyable day. So much information. I mean, she is incredibly knowledgeable. She has been lucky that she has teamed up with super experienced dyers when she was in France. So yeah, if you get that opportunity, you know, you can become a bit more of an expert at it. But I've never had that opportunity. But yeah, so this is just, I say, just the string that we tied them up with. So it ends up quite different. But yeah, so that's that really. Yeah, it was a good day. Lots of people there, as I say. Well, there's 10 of us. I was really early, so I saw her arrive and I thought, I'm just going to go in and see if she needs any help. So good job I did, because none of the tables were laid out. So I laid out all the tables and just helped her set up, really. Yeah, we met, can't remember the name of the dog. Met the dog. I can't remember what she's called. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, met the dog. She then got in the car because it was a very shaded area where we were, so it was a lovely haul. I think, yeah, I did take some photos actually, and I did. Everybody was very kind and let me take photos of their work as well. Some of them, oh my word, I think they must have done it before, because some of it was absolutely stunning. But yeah, I've got a photo of Kathryn and her pots, or was it video? It might have been. Yeah, so anyway, I'll put that all together, a little montage at the end for you. I'm going to stop sorting that out because that's driving me nuts. But you can see these were just plain blue when I got their brand new gloves, and that's how, yeah. So all in all, fun times, lots of gorgeous stuff coming out of the pot. I'm touching it with dry hands, lethal. Yeah, that was my day with the lovely Kathryn. If you get a chance, go on one of her classes, because they are very they're very full on, very inspirational though, and yeah, good fun. I'll put a little thing together at the end for you and you can see all the other stuff. See you then. Bye. This was me laying out all the leaves. There's Kathryn with her pots. We actually do them outside. This is the bundles all rolled up, the dirty at the top, clean at the bottom. This is the hall that we did it in. Very lovely, very picturesque. This is my khadi paper. And this is some of the other ladies' works who very kindly let me take pictures of all their goodies. Some of them are absolutely stunning. Because it was silk, when you held it up to the light, it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This lady was very prolific. I don't know how she managed to do all that. Yeah, some more khadi paper. I got a close up because there was a really good leaf there.